Serving their community is who they are because they love where they live. REMAX 3D Real Estate is proud to bring you Heart of Royse City, a video series dedicated to celebrating all the wonderfully great things about Royse City, Texas. On every episode, Dennisha Denney will share Royse City's story through the stories of the people who call Royse City home. This is Heart of Royse City.
Hey y'all, I'm Dennisha Denney, your host of Heart of Royse City, and today we're sitting down at REMAX 3D Real Estate located next to Wingstop in front of Walmart, and I am so excited about our guest today, Miss Amanda Self. How are you today, Amanda?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, listen, I'm so glad we got that intro out of the way. It has been, I've had so much fun getting started just talking to you,
Yes.
and sometimes I think we need to see the behind the scenes for some of these shows.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to have fun today, okay? I want people to hear your story and get to know you. So the first thing out of the gate we're going to talk about is that you are a mother of triplets.
Oh my gosh, I am.
How is that? And tell us, how have you survived, and how old are they now?
My babies are 11.
Aww.
I have 2 girls and a boy, and yeah, I'm the triplet mom in Royse City. There's a couple of us, actually.
Really?
Yeah, there's multiple moms of multiples in this area, so yeah.
Do y'all have like a little group
We
that you get together?
We do, actually. I started the group about 9 years ago. Met several moms of multiples at Walmart and Costco and lots of different random places. And anyways, a group of 9 of us met at Luigi's, I guess 10 years ago now. And we really do. We meet on the 3rd Thursday of every month. So
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Do you bring all your multiples with you?
no, gosh, we leave them at home. No, it's
That's a
really
girls'
fun.
night out then.
It's a total girls' night out. We go between Rockwall and Royse City, and we have people that are from Forney, kind of Wiley, Sexy, Murphy, kind of the surrounding Rockwall, Royse City area. So it's pretty cool. It's a great group of ladies. So.
That is really cool. What made you want to do that, to start that group?
Honestly, just because, I was a first-time mom of 3, and it's a unique thing, and I figured they would, all the different ages that our kids would be, we would all learn from each other. So it's really fellowship. We've traveled together. We have a really good time. So I learned from the moms of multiples that have triplets at the high school. So that's kind of cool. And then, my babies are 11, and so the newer moms that have, 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds, they learn from us. So it's cool.
That is so neat. What did you think when the doctor said, you're not only having 1, but you're having 3?
It was pretty crazy, actually. My husband did 3 tours to Iraq, and he tells the story that the blood rushed to his head so fast that he thought he was going to faint more than ever when he was in the military. So anyways, it was a cool story, but yeah, I had no idea. So
That was totally unexpected then.
Totally unexpected.
So
yeah.
does it run in either one of your families?
Twins. Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of knew there was a chance.
Kind of knew. So yeah, they're a blessing. They're awesome.
That is. So did it take you quite a bit of time to adjust? Did you need the full 9 months to get ready?
Are we going to talk about the triplets the whole time?
We have to talk about the triplets. Yes. Not the whole time.
Oh my goodness.
You're
so funny.
I can't imagine. I have 2, but my son's 16 almost and my daughter's 11. I can't imagine having 3 and doing 3 diapers and 3 feedings. And so the strength it takes to do that is incredible. So just that one facet of your life is incredible to me.
Wow.
That you manage all of that, plus all the other things we're going to talk about.
Yeah. No, I think that it was God's timing, and it was what was supposed to happen. And so I'm just, doing the best that I can, raising 3 kids in this crazy world. But my husband is obviously a great help and a great father, and yeah, they're great kids. So they're very involved in Royse City, and I don't know.
What's your favorite story about him? We'll do one
Oh
more.
my
That's my
gosh,
last question,
favorite
and then
story.
we will move off of your triplets and talk about other things. But they're your babies.
They are my babies, and we can talk about them. I love them. I'm very proud of them. My favorite story, I don't even know. There's so many stories.
Okay, so think about that while we talk about a few other things.
Okay.
But I want to hear a triplet story, something fun.
Okay,
Something
okay.
funny that happened, something fun raising triplets that people will enjoy hearing about.
Okay.
So I understand that you did not grow up here in Royse City,
Right.
and have a pretty cool story about how you got here. So will you share that story?
Sure. So I am originally from the Dallas area, the Lake Highlands area, and anyways, my husband is from a small town in Arkansas. And so after he got out of the military, he went into fire school in East Texas, and I got a job in East Texas where we have family. And so we were living there for about 2 years and decided that we wanted to be a little bit closer to some of the family in Dallas and some of the family in the Mount Pleasant area. And so we decided that this was kind of the place we wanted to be. My husband didn't want to go past the bridges. He still doesn't really want to go past the bridges. He grew up in a small town, kind of farm town. And so we got a realtor through USAA, actually, which was kind of cool. We didn't know really anybody in this area. Right. And she was driving us around. I'll never forget. She was driving us around this area. And we came to the four-way stop in Royse City. And at that time, I think Jimmy's Donuts and Ronnie's Dry Cleaners was the only establishment truly there. And I remember looking to the left and looking to the right and thinking, I am not living here. And so lo and behold, she kind of drove us around, took us on the other side of 30. And we were one of the first homes 14 years ago to build in Woodland Creek. So we lived there. And then about 5 years ago, bought 10 acres off of FM 35. So we brought our babies home there and had a great neighborhood of support. And I love Royse City. Like, this is the place where I know that we were supposed to be. So,
okay, so you were sitting at the stoplight and you're looking around and you're like, I'm not going to live here, but you live here.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Yeah, so that happened was there was no really other places to live, right? Like, Fate was still really small, and then Rockwall was still kind of too close, and Rowlett was too close for my husband. And so, it was a great opportunity as far as building a new home as a newly married couple. And I was like, it's fine. I'll jump on 30 and go to Dallas if I need to go shopping or whatever. So it just worked out. And I'm so glad it did. So we've seen Main Street and the Main Street program just enormously, obviously, grow and become such a great establishment. We've seen, it's just been really cool to see all of the different things that have thrived in the past, 13, 14 years. So,
well, normally I ask this question later in the show, but we're talking about Royse City.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's talk about what you love about Royse City.
Oh my gosh. There's so many things I love about Royse City. I think the thing that I love the most is that it is growing and there's a lot of people moving here, but we still have that small town feel. I feel that way. So I love just the passion that our elected officials have. I love our school district, like, a lot. I'm just very grateful for our leaders in the school district.
Do you serve on in any capacity?
I don't
Other than
right
just
now.
being a supportive mom?
Yes, that's what I try to be. I foresee that maybe later. But just as time would have it and work and kids, it's just not an option right now. But so, yeah, I just love that small town feel. I think that we still have that. And I feel like we do a really good job trying to maintain that. So with the growth, of course.
Right.
Which I'm excited about. I mean, I don't like it sometimes, but I'm excited for this town because they do a great job. So
they really do. There are so many great things coming here.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you hope to see come here?
I don't really know. I mean,
do you have that one store or one favorite restaurant or something that you're like, oh, I wish that was
love
right
a Chick-fil-A here.
Yes. I second that.
I would love a Chick-fil-A here. I mean, I can eat anywhere. I'm not a real picky person. We go to Rockwall if we have to, but we support all the local businesses. My husband owns his own business, and so we're big small business supporters. And so whatever we can do to help that, we will.
Absolutely. What does he own? What is his
business?
So
Jack owns Tri-County Septic. So he started the business right after the triplets were born, which was a huge leap of faith. Anyways, he obviously has been a part of that growth with all of the new homes here and has been very successful. So super proud of him. But yeah, Tri-County Septic.
How did he get into that?
Actually, my mom and my stepdad owned a similar business in the Dallas area. And so when we were transitioning, he kind of learned the trade and worked for them for a while. He then went to entrepreneurship boot camp for veterans with disabilities at Texas A&M University, and he learned a business plan and put it into practice. So,
that is so cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So he works pretty much within a 20-mile radius of this area. So he's always here, which is great because, if we have to pick kiddos up from school or doctors or whatever, he's kind of always in the area. So it's
right.
good. Yeah.
Right. Wow. So that has been helpful. Were you able to stay at home or did you work?
I did. So I stayed at home for about 3.5 years
Okay.
with the babies. And then just decided that I was ready to go back into the workplace. So marketing has always been kind of my niche. Direct sales or marketing, public relations is what I got my degree in. And so I connected into the healthcare marketing world, and that's where I've stayed. So I've been in healthcare marketing for almost 8 years. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What drew you to the healthcare marketing?
I don't really know. I had a mentor that I had met in the community, and she was in healthcare marketing. I knew I didn't want to go back into direct sales necessarily, but she kind of grabbed me into it. I quickly enjoyed just networking within the people that I had already known and learned. And I mean, there's plenty of business as far as healthcare in the Rockwall County area, Hunt County area. So I did home health for 7 years and then transitioned to hospice care during quarantine, actually, last year. So
tell me what a day in the life looks like for you in that business. I mean, are you actually meeting with the patients?
Yes, now.
Okay.
Yes. Because of COVID, obviously for a year, that's been the most heartbreaking and challenging thing in the senior industry. So, but yes, now places are open. Meeting with families in person is the blessing that I have every single day. So before was really hard, having a conversation about hospice care for your loved one over the phone is not easy.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It's not easy anyway.
Yeah.
We went through that with my dad, and I mean, our hospice nurse was an angel.
They are.
For
They are
us.
angels. My team are angels, literally. So
They literally are. I mean, the way that just even the sound of her voice was angelic for us, and it's one of the most traumatic, hardest things in your life to be losing a loved one, and for them to be able to guide you through what's going to happen next, and like almost every single thing that was on that paper that she gave us, which I'm glad they give you the paper. You cannot absorb what they're saying.
No.
But it gives you something to go back to. And it was comforting, and it was like I understood what was going to happen next and next and next.
Exactly. Yeah, that's our mission. I mean, that is our goal, is to be that support for the families, for the patient, of course, but we have an amazing team. Our Trinity Hospice is our company, and it's a great resource. So on day to day, I call on doctors, hospitals, rehabs in this area, rehab facilities in this area, build relationships with the building. I do a lot of volunteering inside the building, so calling bingo or ice cream socials, it warms my heart and it makes me remember why I do what I do, and then meet with families when that time comes. And so,
do you go in the home too then?
I do
during that time and meet with the families. So are you like a nurse as well, or?
So it's kind of like a clinical liaison. I'm not a nurse, but it's like a liaison position. So community liaison.
Okay.
So basically, I do a lot of the paperwork and all of the organization of ordering their equipment and signing their consents, and then I pass it on to my team. Okay. And then my nurse will go to do an admission and assessment, and then they just take over from there. So
okay. So you're kind of marketing somewhat to the hospitals and things too. So when you're having to make that decision, that you're on the list to be as one of the options.
Provider, yes.
For them.
Correct.
So what makes your company different from others?
Oh my gosh.
Other than you, of course, and your incredible team.
No, our team. I think what makes us different is that we're independently owned. We're owned by a clinician. I've worked with and for him for almost the whole duration of my career. Just ethical, moral, great people to work for. So I don't know, independently owned, I think, is the biggest thing. Plus, all of our clinicians are local to this area. So, a lot of our families may run into them at the grocery store or whatever. So, I think those are the two things that stick out the most.
That means a lot. You don't ever, like, I think I would still recognize the hospice nurse from 21 years ago, because that was such a profound time.
Right.
In our life. And so that has to be so rewarding.
I love what I do.
But also so hard at the same time.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that? Like, I mean, you're dealing with death every single day.
Every day. Mm-hmm.
So and you're so happy and bubbly, and it's like, how do you do that?
So, I mean, my mission or my thought process is we're given one birth and one death. And if my team can bless a family and the loved one with a memorable death, then that's my job. And the countless cards, texts, calls that we get, that we are a blessing, that's my calling. So I just have a servant's heart. That's all. And I love old people. They're so cute, and they're our history, and they're what we need to learn from. So it's a passion, and I love what I do. So.
I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yep.
And I'm kind of the same way. I always enjoy sitting down with someone who's older than me, you know, and hearing their wisdom. They've gone before us and they're so wise, you know, and some of it may have come from their own mistakes that they're willing to share with you. And I've had someone before just say, thank you for just sitting down and talking to me.
Yeah. I think the senior population sometimes is forgotten in a sense. I mean, my kids are used to going to Royse City Health and Rehab right across the street and taking Christmas gifts or Valentine's gifts. Their student council pretty much always does something for the seniors there. We do adopt a grandparent program during Christmas time. So I think it's important. Our kids need to know that, just because someone's old doesn't mean they don't need a hug.
That's right.
You know, and so I try to instill that in my kiddos too.
Oh, I love that so much. I can see you just taking them down the halls and visiting with everyone.
They're used to it. They know.
I bet.
And there's several seniors that will take food too, just their favorite food that they might not get, or, I'll take them, well, again, before quarantine, things are a little bit more open, but before then, they come with me on a Friday to call bingo and serve the drinks. And so just trying to instill in them just that servant's heart too.
Are they ever like, Mom, do we have to go?
No, not really. They love it.
Ready to go and excited to go.
And they love it.
And be a part of that.
They are.
Oh, that is so special. It says a lot you've been with that company for a long time, because in your industry, a lot of times the turnover can be pretty high.
Yeah.
And so it does say a lot about your company.
It's awesome.
Okay, so you mentioned direct sales. So we kind of have to give Sonia Kathy a shout out, because we figured out that's how we actually knew each other in a whole nother life.
That is a whole nother life.
Yes.
I really feel like that is a whole nother life, but it's a blessed life too.
Let's talk about that little section of life.
Yeah.
Tell me about being a sales director with Mary Kay.
I've been a consultant since I was 18. My mom was a sales director. I don't know. I mean, basically I moved to Royse City. I had stopped teaching, and I just embrace the business opportunity. God first, family second, career third. I learned a lot from network marketing through Mary Kay. And Sonia Kathy was my biggest mentor. She was my adopted sales director, and I became a sales director, and I loved it. I loved my time. I love Mary Kay. But I was ready to do something different. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I just was ready to do something different in my life. So
it is amazing what you can take from the network marketing and put it into other areas of
100%.
your life. Yes.
I've told my business partner that several times. I'm like, look, what I learned at Mary Kay has totally carried over to this company.
Yes. That same thing happened to me for Rodan and Fields.
Yes.
I was a consultant and I still use the products.
Yeah.
But I learned so much about communication and about networking
and follow
that
up.
I use it today.
Yeah,
Yes.
follow up and thank you notes and being personal with people, sitting down and having a conversation. And I think a lot of that's lost. Unfortunately, technology took a lot of that away. So people enjoy sitting down and having a conversation with somebody.
It gives you a purpose too, though, because in both of those industries, you're really sitting down with other people and getting to know them and really building relationships, and you're able to lift them up. And it gives people opportunities to live a life they've only dreamed about.
That's right.
And so I do think it's a great organization.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we put that together.
I know. Thanks, Sonia.
It took us like 25 minutes to do it.
Of course, she would have a connection somewhere.
Yes.
She's in healthcare marketing now, though, too. So there's that.
Yes, I know. I love her. We still see each other, and I still catch up with her all the time.
That's awesome.
Yes. So tell us some things that you like. What are your personal things that you enjoy?
Oh, my goodness. So I love to work out. That's kind of my thing. That's my personal time. I work out pretty much every morning at 5 a.m. Before the world wakes. So that's what I do for myself. I CrossFit.
Okay.
I got a CrossFit swashbuckle in Fate, which I love. I recently trained and completed an Ironman the weekend I turned 40. So that was exciting.
You. Yes. Congratulations.
I mean, being a staying-at-home mom is a really, really hard job. It is a job too.
Yes.
Literally. And I had kind of lost myself in that. And that's why I wanted to go back to work. And, I wasn't healthy and I didn't feel good. And, I just started walking in Woodland Creek in my neighborhood and was introduced to CrossFit. I've been doing it for, I guess, I don't know, 9 years, maybe 8 years now, and have been a part of several gyms in the area and started a little running group in Royse City, Running Royse City, another mom. And I started, she really started the group, and we kind of, mentor other new runners in the Royse City area. There's now a running group in Fate. So just connecting people. Just connecting people.
Okay, you have to tell me about that because I'm in the middle of my own running streak.
Okay.
So tell me about this group. I may need to come run with y'all.
Oh my gosh. I haven't been running as much because I was training for so long, but there's a group that meets on Royse City Main Street. We used to meet right between Pizza Hut and Joe's and just run either like a 5K, like a 3-mile route. I used to have a neighbor, an amazing man that lived here. I don't know if you know Jim Harden, but he was Papa Turtle. So he would hang back with the slower folks, and we would try to have all different paces. So, and then the Fate running group, I think they meet almost every day. So
really,
yeah, we have a little group on Facebook, and just try to help people. Just know that you don't have to be this, crazy workout person to be healthy.
Right. So how do people find that if they want to join and get more information about the running group?
Running Royse City.
Okay, Running Royse City.
Yeah.
Is that like a Facebook group?
Yeah, it's
that
a Facebook
people
group.
Can join.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when do you run?
People will post, running on Thursday morning at 5:30 or running, Friday morning at 10 or whatever. Perfect. There's just different groups. So
okay.
Yeah.
How fun. Yeah. I'm going to go check that out. But the thing about that is people that are moving to Royse City, they're looking for ways to plug in.
Yeah, it's a great way.
That's a great way with the Running Royse City. And then what's your mom group called, the Multiples?
It's called Royse City Area Mothers of Multiples. Yeah.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
Because this is how people get to know Royse City and how they get to find out, we always talk about all the great things there are, but sometimes we're like, oh, it's great here, but we forget to tell them why. Well, it's great because there's a running group that now people can find out about. There's a mom group for multiples people can find out about. A women's empowerment group.
Yes.
There's so many things that are here that allow people to plug in and get to know the people of Royse City.
Yeah, and it's important. That connection is important. I think that's what Royse City is all about, is that connection. The heartbeat of what makes us different, I think.
I agree. Okay, Miss Amanda, I told you I was going to ask you to pick a number between 1 and 20
my goodness. Okay.
before we hit start. So if you will, I'm going to ask you a random question, and I told you there's no wrong answer.
Oh, Lordy.
But what is a number between 1 and 20, and that's going to tell me your number, and I want to know why you picked that number.
13.
Okay.
And why I picked it?
Why'd you pick that number?
It's a lucky number. I don't know. It was Mary Kay Ash's lucky number.
I like that
it
number
is,
too.
It's a good number. I don't know. It's got a 3 in it.
My
mom loves 3 and 7. So it's either 13 or 17. I don't know.
There you go. Well, question number 13 is, if you could change one thing about your upbringing, what would it be? See, I told you it's not a hard question. And we didn't even talk about your upbringing. You grew up in Dallas, right?
I did. Yeah.
Did you like growing up in Dallas?
Yeah, I didn't know anything different, so it was good. I wouldn't want to live back there, just because I'm so used to, live on 10 acres. We have animals. We are in FFA. Like, we're doing things totally different than I did in Dallas. But, the shopping is great, and going to visit my family is great. So,
what was it like growing up in Dallas? Because it's obviously not like it is today. It was a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't know. my mom, my parents were divorced. I lived with my mom. We lived right down the street from my grandmother for quite a while. So walked to school. I don't know.
Did you walk to school uphill?
Both ways in the snow. No, I didn't. I did not. Didn't have it that rough.
Wasn't quite that bad. Okay. So what's something you would change then about your upbringing?
I think the only thing that I would really change is that, I was kind of separated between 2 different households. That's hard for a kiddo, but that was my parents' choice. They did a great job raising us together in a sense. And so to this day, they get along at different events. So it's helpful. But I would say that's the only thing I would maybe change. But I had a pretty awesome upbringing. So
that's wonderful. You can say that too and know that. And
very blessed.
I always tell my kids, listen, I'm doing the best I know to
Absolutely.
do right now.
Yeah. It could be a lot worse.
Yes.
That's what I tell my kids.
Someone always has it a lot worse than you do.
Yes,
you just have to remember that.
Absolutely.
So, do you have someone in your life then from your childhood that was very influential for you? into who you are because you're such a servant. You have such a servant's heart. You give back to your kids. You give back to your community. You give back in your job. Where did that come from?
Gosh, I mean, the first person that comes to mind as far as an influential person is my grandmother, my great grandmother, actually. She was always serving. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a hard question. I feel like I have a lot of great mentors in my life. I have an amazing family, amazing aunts and uncles and cousins my cousins that I call sisters, you know, so I don't know. A lot of great teachers. That's a hard question.
You had a whole tribe.
I feel like I had a tribe.
Yes.
I think that's how people are intended to be, is in a tribe.
I
think that
so
drives
too.
my husband crazy because he's not a real tribe person, but I think he's fallen in line pretty well. I mean, community, without the community, without our church community, without that, I wouldn't be able to raise my babies.
Right.
You know, you asked that earlier. I mean, I'm so grateful for Royse City. I mean, literally the city helped when I was on bed rest and, you know, sending meals, 13 weeks on bed rest. My husband, we were having meals delivered from people in the chamber and city. And then my church, has grown obviously since we've moved here, but they were there at the door cleaning the house or, volunteering to feed a baby, so I think that's how we're intended to be as in a community. So
I love that. That right there tells you exactly what type of community Royse City is. They all just stepped up and helped so much.
Absolutely.
Well, Amanda, it's been my pleasure to get to sit here and hear your story. I've learned so many new things, and I can see your heart it glows for Royse City and for your people and for your community. So thank you so much for agreeing to sit down with me. You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Whoa. Wait, we can't end. I forgot to ask you our question. I need a triplets story. I need a story about your triplets. Something that's funny, just something. Let us end on that. Tell me something about your 3 babies.
I have a lot of great stories because they are entertaining at all times. But the one that came to mind just talking about Royse City is that, my highlights of my day to get out were to go to the post office and to the bank because I couldn't take them all to the grocery store all the time,
right?
Which I did do a lot, but anyways, and so American National Bank here in town, I would pull up to the bank and Leslie McMahon would come out and she'd stand with the babies so that I could go in and have like 5 minutes of peace and go to the bank. I don't know. I think it's a funny story because I still see her in town and she's watched the triplets grow and it just shows again the people in this town and how they just care for others. So I don't know, that story just came to my mind when you were asking about it earlier. So
that's so sweet. I love that. She took the time out of her day.
Yeah.
So you could walk in and have 5 minutes, just 5 minutes away from the babies. And you need that for your sanity.
Yeah.
I still can't imagine. Cannot imagine. You are Superwoman and have superpowers.
No.
In my eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I've really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
Thank you for watching Heart of Royse City. This video series, which is designed to celebrate Royse City, Texas, is spearheaded by REMAX 3D Real Estate.